Now, before we start this video, I know what you're thinking already. Lawrence, what the fuck is this? You look like a bowl of pubes. I have not been able to get a haircut. I haven't shaved my beard. You're gonna have to fucking deal with it. I dealt with it, so can you. This video right here is to talk about some of the shittiest movies of 2020. That's right, 2020 has been a really weird year for movies. I don't know if you knew this, but there's kind of a pandemic going around, and theaters have shut down, and it's been hell for us film lovers. There were still a lot of movies that came out on streaming services. A lot of them were pretty good. Some of them were really bad. If you want to talk about some fucking garbage movies, you're gonna need a little help. And by help, I mean alcohol. Let's get to it. I'm tired of fucking making you guys wait. Let's talk about the absolute worst movies of 2020, starting with number 10. To All the Boys, P.S. I love you. Now, I'm gonna be pretty honest here. As a teen romance, I don't think this movie is one of the worst things out there. There's so much worse out there. But that's a low-ass bar to try and pass. So I'm not gonna let this movie slide just because it's not as bad. It's still kind of bad. The only real praise I can give this movie is Lana Condor as Laura Jean and Jordan Fisher as whatever the fuck his name was in the movie. Honestly, I watched this today as we're filming. The video I'm filming, I watched that today. I forgot a majority of the movie already. The story is so fucking boring. It's so boring. This is gonna be a lot harder than I thought, so you better just start rolling with these movies. Number 9. Hillbilly Elegy. This is one of those movies that tries very hard to make you sympathize with characters, and it's done in a very manipulative way. The things that happen in this movie and the way they're executed, I wouldn't say they're very sad. It's actually unintentionally funny. There's a lot of scenes that should have a lot of weight to it. It should be the emotional climax of the film, and for some reason, it's fucking funny. The performances are some are okay. Glenn Close is pretty good. The makeup for Glenn Close is fantastic. Amy Adams, I've seen her done a lot better in the past. The worst performance was from the kid of the movie. It's what the movie's basically about, is this fucking kid and how he grew up in such a hard time. Look, he's bad. I'm sorry, he was not good. The scenes where he's supposed to be very emotional and cry, it's just kind of funny to me. I feel like this movie is lacking authenticity. Ron Howard doesn't do a very good job when it comes to the direction. It's these movies that I don't like that are so manipulative. They try so hard to just try and take emotion instead of creating a story and characters that you can actually relate to, or not even relate to, understand. I don't need to relate to a character to feel some sort of sympathy or empathy towards these people. I just need to understand why they feel this way, why they're doing the certain things that they do, but this movie doesn't give a fucking shit about that. I would put this movie a lot lower in the list, but it's just so funny and entertaining to watch this shit just crumble. But it's still pretty bad. More alcohol. Number 8. The Prom. The Prom literally just came out not that long ago. It came out in December, and it feels like Netflix is trying to bury this movie. When you go on Netflix, it's not on the trending page. It's not on the new releases. It's just kind of, you gotta search it. You gotta search for the movie. I can now see why. A lot of the criticism is going towards James Corden's performance. He plays a very stereotypical gay man. While the stereotype is just a little bit outdated and he doesn't do a great job, he is not the worst part of the movie. The worst part of the movie is just this movie's plot in general. Speaking of movies I'm just tired of, for me, I'm just so tired of these movies that try and pretend that they're representing something important, but it's done in such a cliche, and in this movie, kind of offensive way. There's a lot of things that these characters do that they try to redeem, and these things go way too far past the point of being redeemed. I want to see representation for the LGBTQ community in ways that are progressive, in ways that we can actually have news stories. This feels like something that should have been made years ago. And I'm not gonna lie, there is some sort of charm to it. Meryl Streep does a really good job. There are some moments where you can tell they kind of tried, but altogether the execution by Ryan Murphy just doesn't work. Number 7. Like a Boss. This was actually, I think, the first movie I saw in 2020. I actually saw it in theaters. Remember, theaters? Those were a thing. This movie's attempts at humor are completely missed. There was actually moments where it was so quiet and you could tell the film was directed and written to kind of like tell a joke and then they stop so that the audience can laugh, and then once they're done laughing they continue the story. No one's laughing in the theater, so it's just an awkward silence, and I felt it in the room. I was just like, oh, this is so bad. The film even has to like have these moments of exposition to kind of tell you that these two characters are even friends in the first place. This was a bad start to 2020, and look where it led us. Look where we're at now. Thanks, Like a Boss. This is your fault. Number 6. Hillbilly Halloween. We actually talked about this on my podcast, the Filmaholics podcast. Go check us out. Link in bio. That was a very sad promotion for myself, but hey, who cares? It's so sad seeing Adam Sandler go from Uncut Gems to this. I can't blame him though. There's a lot of things wrong with this movie. The film tries really hard to make you sympathize with Hubie because he's bullied and everyone hates him. The problem is, Hubie is such a bad character. He's not someone I want to root for. I don't give a shit about Hubie. Who gives a shit about Hubie? That's why everyone's mean to him. There's nothing really to this movie except for Adam Sandler to make a fucking movie with his friends. And I'm tired of this. Especially when we can see the potential in Adam Sandler's performances. I mean, he's been showing it for a long time. Punch Drunk Love was in 2002. He's a good performer. He's a good actor when he wants to be. And thanks to the Academy not giving him a nomination, we have to deal with movies like fucking Hubie Halloween. And it makes me want to drink some more. Fuck you, Hubie Halloween. Number 5. Sonic the Hedgehog. This was another film I actually got to see in theaters before the world went to shit. Even the children in the audience were enjoying it. It was very quiet. The movie's very annoying. It tries so hard to modernize Sonic. I wasn't really anticipating the movie, and what I got was like a very insultingly boring and unfunny film. I thought that the human characters were disposable and uninteresting. Sonic was just irritating. I didn't like it very much, and I'm sure I'm in the minority with this because a lot of people seem to at least enjoy it. I did not. I thought it was fucking annoying. Number 4. The Lovebirds. Hey, we also talked about this in the podcast. Go listen to the podcast. We'll be back soon, by the way. Talk about no chemistry. There is no fucking chemistry between these two main characters. I'm not a fan of forced conflict. This film tries to force a lot of conflict onto these characters to make it seem like things are going really bad. It's to manipulate the audience, and I don't want to be manipulated into feeling bad for characters that I wouldn't feel bad for in general. I want the story to drive me there. I want there to be actual depth to their characters and their story. The only good thing COVID-19 ever did for me was save me about $10 on gas, $15 on a ticket, fucking $10 more on food and drinks. It saved me all that money from seeing this piece of shit. That's the only good thing I can say it ever did for me. Number 3. The Kissing Booth 2. Oh boy, do I really have to explain why The Kissing Booth 2 is bad? The first one was enough to explain. This is even worse. This movie has some of the worst characters, the worst relationships, the worst decisions ever made towards a film. It has annoying editing, fucking terrible narration, unnecessary narration. Joey King is really bad. It is such an annoying movie, and I'm saying that a lot because a lot of these movies are just fucking annoying, but this one in particular is just the worst out of all of the annoying movies I've seen this year. This one holds it to a high fucking level. It's an incompetent, poorly written, poorly directed, poorly performed movie, and it's fucking long. This movie is over 2 hours long. It's even longer. That is such an unnecessary runtime for a movie like this. And we're getting 3 of these. We're getting one more movie. We're getting a fucking trilogy for this? Ugh. That movie was fucking awful. Number 2. Brahms the Boy 2. Isn't that funny? Number 2. Brahms the Boy 2. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember this movie at all. I saw this with my friends at a drive-in, and the screen was very dark, and the movie was just bad. Everything. The performances were bad. The story was awful. It was actually kind of funny how bad it was. It was a fun experience being at the drive-in with my friends, but the movie was bad. It was really fucking bad. And I kind of wish I remembered what happened, but I don't. And I honestly had this at the worst movie of the year because I just remember it being really bad, but I don't remember anything, so that's why I have it at number 2. Well, actually, that's not the real reason why it's number 2. The real reason is because last night, the night before I'm recording this right now, I watched the worst movie of 2020. It is just one of the most offensive, disgusting, misogynistic movies I've ever seen in my life. And people actually kind of liked it, which is kind of upsetting. At number 1, the worst movie of 2020, we have... I'm gonna have to finish this to talk about this fucking movie. Empty. 365 days. I needed 10 movies to watch. I needed 10 movies to create this video, to make the list, and I heard that this was kind of bad. I had no idea what it was about. I assumed it was just about sex. I assumed it was like a 50 Shades of Grey ripoff, which it is. It kind of is. But the storyline, the actual plot of the film is one of the most offensive and disgusting plots I've ever seen. I honestly can't believe this movie was even made. It is about a man who kidnaps a woman and gives her a year to fall in love with him. And spoiler alert, I don't want you watching this movie, so spoiler alert, she does. How? I don't know. Ugh. I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me a fucking minute. Oh, okay. I'm going to spend a lot of my time on this one, because this one really fucking hit a mark with me. They actually try to make it seem like this movie's okay by making the main character, which is a girl, I don't know her name, I don't care to know the name of the fucking character, because this movie's disgusting and it doesn't deserve that much attention to detail. So I'm just going to say the main woman. They try to make it seem like all of this is kind of okay by making her somewhat sexual. She loves sex. The very first thing she wants to do in the movie is have sex with her husband or boyfriend. The boyfriend's like, no, I don't want to do it. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, whatever, I'm going to go masturbate. And they try and cut up her masturbating with the main character, the main male character, the piece of shit asshole. They cut it up between her masturbating and him getting a blowjob. And then they try to make the plot seem somewhat okay because, oh, they both wanted sex. It's okay. It's okay that he kidnapped her and is forcing her to watch him get blowjobs. This movie's disgusting. It is fucking gross. Set aside the immoral plot, the disgusting immoral plot. Put that aside. The movie itself is not good. It's a poorly made film. Awful direction, terrible writing, terrible acting. It has without a doubt, the worst soundtrack I've ever heard in a movie. It is so fucking offensively bad as a film. It is offensively bad as a story. It's offensive and misogynistic towards fucking all women. This is a disgusting movie. And people actually thought it was sexy. There was TikToks of like that scene. You've all seen this TikTok where like he grabs her neck and like pulls him in front of her and he's just like, yeah, that's sexy, right? No, it's fucking terrible. 365 days is not worth one of the 365 days of your life this year. It is so fucking bad. Oh, God, this was a video to make. I'm sweating because I'm so angry. If you're watching this, thank you so very much. Please subscribe, please like the video, please share it. I want people to watch this. I want people to enjoy this content because I love making it. Thank you so very much. And please just stay safe. Wear a fucking mask. Wear a mask, you idiot. Stop being a fucking moron. Wear a mask. And please just take care. Thank you.